considered armed and dangerous, and we were asking the public to be aware of their surroundings when parking in public venues after dark until we can apprehend these individuals. And we'll be releasing as it becomes available and we can. Just know that this investigation is active and it's ongoing. As we speak now, we are working and following up on leads. Anyone with information about any of these two incidents, they may have seen anything, those two on hours of the 22nd at any of those locations, we're asking them to contact the DeLand Police Department Criminal Investigation Division at 386-626-7400, or they can leave a Crime Watch portal. That's about all I have to offer you this afternoon at this time.
Random carjackings? I mean, obviously you think they may be connected, but are they random?
Yes, we believe they are random, which is extremely information out. And I know we haven't given you a lot of suspect description information. As soon as we have some of that information to give you and we can safely give it to you, we will. But what I want the public to be aware is right now we have several individuals that are out there that committed 2 crimes that are similar in nature. They were parked in parking lots, obviously at night and in the early morning hours. So we just ask that the public be vigilant and be aware of their surroundings if they're parking in public parking lots right now until we can secure. We're hopeful that maybe we'll have some more information to give you in the next several hours, but we'll try to update and give you better information so that the public can protect themselves further in a little bit here.
But clearly these suspects were armed because allegedly one of the people, the tech was shot and critically injured.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. One of the individuals was shot and was critically injured.
Chief, are the circumstances in each carjacking similar? I mean, what do you guys know at this point?
They are similar. We're conducting them as 2 different investigations right now, okay, to be sure so you understand, but they are similar.
And,
it looked like the victim was a 75-year-old man in the Walmart?
Right.
The Walmart was, and nobody was hurt in that appear
to be connected. What might have had the suspects act more aggressively in the second? What that confrontation might have looked like, where it escalated to him the victim being shot?
Yeah, I don't want to get into the details of what occurred, what we believe occurred at the second incident, because, like I said, we're working on some things right now, and we just want to be careful about what we talk about right now.
And we know there's a survivor at the second incident who must give you some information. Are those 2, the victim and that witness, younger people, local people, students?
They were younger than the 75-year-old, I can tell you that. And they did not live in the city limits of DeLand. I think one lived in, one did live in the general area here, and I think one maybe on the east side of the county, is the best of my recollection.
But not necessarily students connected to Florida Tech?
No, they were not, to my knowledge, they were not students connected with Florida Tech.
Did they say what they were doing there at the time? Maybe just sort of hanging, having a snack or something? I don't know.
Yeah, we have an idea what they were doing, but again, we don't want to release that and talk about that right now.
So you were looking at one or more suspects.
Were they dark? Were these people that were, were in dark areas of parking lots became targets, or were these well-lit, populated areas?
At Florida Technical College, that would have been a darkened area. The Walmart, sort of lighted, but not probably around a lot of other people.
Chief, I know this is another case, but I just wanted to ask if you're any closer to an arrest in the Walgreens from last week. And also, I know you guys released a photo of the suspect. Where was that photo taken? Is he arrested or?
He has not been located yet. We're working with the United States Marshal Service to locate him. We do have a warrant for his arrest for first-degree murder. As far as the picture is concerned, it was taken locally here, and it was a photograph that we were able to obtain internally in our office.
Oh, it was taken when he was arrested?
No. No.
When you say
He hasn't
internally,
been
when you say internally, that means you guys had contact with this person before this incident.
At some
At some point we did, yes.
What was that incident?
Again, another thing I don't want to get into because we're working on this case with the state attorney's office. You know, do you think I can talk about this at this point, or should? This is Captain Dice. He heads up our criminal investigation division. I just want to be real careful here because we're talking about two cases. You know, we have a capital murder. We do not want to say or do anything to hinder a prosecution, okay? And so some of these things are investigative things, and we want to be careful not to try this case in the paper or on the news because there will be a trial at some point. And so that's why we're trying to be careful, okay?
Would it be fair to say that you had contact with him prior to being aware that he might be connected to a homicide?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So
All right,
some street contact.
I have
Yes.
a follow-up question. When you guys had contact with him prior to the knowing that he had done something, did you guys have contact with him and the victim was with him at the time?
The question that I answered before is sufficient. We had contact with him prior, as Claire asked. I'm not sure I'm following your question.
No, I mean,
I think he means the person who was dead, was she with him?
Yeah, she
His
said
wife.
before
No.
you guys were aware that
No.
was happening.
No.
He was alone.
He was alone.
Chief, how many suspects are you looking for in the carjacking?
We think 2 or 3 individuals.
And do you know how they traveled from the Walmart over to the Taco Bell tech parking lot, how they were able to cover that distance?
We have an idea, and again, that's something that we don't want to discuss right now because we're talking to people right now.
So I'm guessing both the elderly victim and Walmart and one of the persons at Texas College gave you almost similar descriptions of the suspects then? If you guys believe they're the same person?
That would be an accurate statement. Similar, yes.
What advice do you have for viewers who are watching this? Because I know the Walmart, it said he was parked in the 9th row, like fairly close to the front entrance, visible area. What advice do you have? How can you tell people to help it not escalate to, what may have happened in the second incident?
Well, I can say this. If somebody approaches you and you're in a parking lot, and of course if they're brandishing a weapon, my suggestion is you just need to relinquish that property, whatever it is that they want, just give them what they want. Don't offer any resistance to that because, bad things can happen when that happens sometimes.
And we know the victim was shot in the second incident. Were either of the 2 carjacking victims robbed? Did the suspects get away with anything during their efforts, especially?
To my knowledge, no.
Are you in a position to say where the other victim may have been shot? Chief?
No, I'm not gonna say.
Can you say if that victim was the driver or the passenger?
Was a driver.
That's in the second incident?
The
you said
second,
that he was
second,
the
the second.
driver and he was shot?
Yes.
And they were also parked, right?
Yes, sir.
And Chief, in that first incident, did the suspects brandish a gun at all or a weapon?
I'm unaware of that. I don't believe they did.
Chief, we just did a story Wednesday about how quaint and old school this town is. You've had a lot of violent crime in the past couple weeks. Any idea what's going on? Is this just all random, or
The Walgreen homicide was not a random act of violence. I mean, we know that those 2 were related. They were from Cleveland, Ohio. So I think we're talking about we had somebody end up in DeLand. They were actually not in this area for a long period of time and then ended up here with her body here. So that's not connected to DeLand or any citizens here in DeLand. This incident is disturbing. It's obviously random violence where people are, approaching people in cars. And obviously, in the one instance, we know they were armed. So we're asking the public to just be aware of your surroundings when you're parked in a parking lot right now, especially after hours. And that's the best I can do right now. And I know that's, probably not going to be sufficient for a lot of people. But when I say this, I want to know that everyone to know that our ultimate goal is to arrest these individuals and put them behind bars. And I'm trying to be careful of what I'm saying so that I don't jeopardize our case so we can make an arrest.
Chief, one more question. What kind of cars were these two victims driving? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out if they were after specific
Again, I don't want to get into that right now. I will release that information later.
And Chief, in Mr. Palmer's case, I know the marshals are involved. Has there been any indications that he might still be in this area? Or do you have any indications of where he might be?
So at this particular time on that case, we have not got any updated information as in terms of his whereabouts. But as soon as we get that, we'll be able to provide it.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
What did I say? Palmer?
Thanks, Singer.
Saying it. I keep saying
We're
Robert
done with
Palmer.
rubber.
No, do you know how many times I said Palmer and actually had to correct